Welcome back to our third video on meditation. In our last two videos we learned quick meditation exercise, you can do it at any time, as well as the three essential things you need to think about. First is to change your perspective, so whenever you're caught up in a problem or you're stressed, just take a step back and breathe, or do your meditation. Second part is to change your state, and that's effectively changing your energy through breathing and through sitting up differently. Changing your state allows you to just have a different perspective on what you're doing, as well as literally changing your physiology. So the breath is the most important part to focus on because that increases the oxygen and the circulation in your body, and also the subtle energy of prana, you might say in yoga and meditation traditions. Where your breath goes, energy tends to flow. And the more breath you have, the more energy you have. Of course, most of us tend to breathe very shallowly, and that's one reason we have so little energy and focus. Breath is essentially awareness. You can move your breath to different parts of your body. So when we talk about energy, it's really more of a form of awareness than anything. You don't have to talk about subtle energy, although that is part of it. We're talking about awareness when we're talking about energy in this system. So you might have heard someone say, they have really heavy energy, it's really heavy, man, or you're taking on other people's energy. What you're really doing is you're taking on their awareness. So if someone has a really depressed awareness, you walk in a room, you can feel that. And this is because we have what's called mirror neurons in our brain. This is what creates an empathetic connection to other people. We're literally creating a kind of hologram in our brain. It's almost impossible to keep other people's awareness or energy out of ours. This is how we connect as a tribe. Of course, in our modern society, when we're surrounded by so many people and so many distractions, this can become quickly overwhelming. And this is why it's important to come back to your breath again and again, because often when we are around other people who are tense, how's their breathing? Yeah, it becomes really tense, and we take that breathing on. If you want to start to change someone else's emotion or energy, first notice how they're breathing and then start to breathe differently. Either they'll adapt it or they'll get frustrated and they'll have to leave. It's really fascinating what you can start to do with your energy and your breath. And that's why the breath is so essential in every yogic and meditation tradition I've ever studied. That's the key of where it starts. So it really doesn't matter what your experience is, or even if you have thoughts in meditation. It just matters that you're starting to pay attention to the quality of your breath. And as your quality increases, so will your awareness and your energy and your focus. As you start to become aware of your breath and your own awareness, once you start to practice and become aware of your own energy and awareness, you start to be able to experience things on a more subtle level. Not only other people's states, but your own internal states and the more subtle energies that really drive us, that we're disconnected from. Most of us are disconnected from our breath and our body, let alone the more subtle states in the higher regions of the brain. This is what this system and other systems try to do, is help you become aware so you can start to activate the higher states of your mind and start to realize what's blocking you internally, what you're not aware of. And as you start to become more aware, you can start to harness these different levels of awareness and different kinds of energy so you can start to do the things that you really want with your life. In future courses, we'll start to get into the higher states of awareness, how to activate them, and how to understand your drives and what's blocking you, as well as how to control your mind and your energy. And that's where the fun really starts to begin. And if you're interested in continuing, we do have a foundational course coming up. You'll receive information on that shortly. Until then,